Jungkook announced something unexpected. Taehyung's reaction made fans go wild. The previously lively stadium atmosphere suddenly fell silent. Thousands of eyes were fixed on one figure on the stage. Jungkook, BTS's golden magne, stood tall with a microphone in hand. His face was serious, his eyes sparkled, and his lips trembled slightly, as if he was gathering the courage to reveal something he had been holding back for a long time. In front of him, the fans held their breath. Seconds passed slowly, creating an almost unbearable tension. Even in the VIP seats, a man seemed to be wiping his face, trying to hide his emotional expression. It was Kim Taehyung, or better known as BTS. Then, in a voice that was slightly shaky but full of confidence, Jungkook finally spoke. "I want to say something that I've been holding back for a long time. This isn't easy for me, and I hope you all can understand." The room was immediately filled with curious whispers. Armies around the world watching the live broadcast immediately flooded social media with speculation. Was this about BTS's future? Or something more personal? Taehyung, who was sitting in the VIP seats with the other BTS members, seemed to swallow hard. His eyes were watery, but he still tried to smile. Meanwhile, RM, Suga, J-Hope, Jimin, and Jin exchanged glances, as if they already knew what was going to happen. Jungkook took a deep breath and continued. "You all know that our journey hasn't always been easy. There were times when I felt doubtful. There were times when I almost gave up. But there's one person who has always been by my side, who never let me fall alone. That person is Kim Taehyung." In an instant, the stadium was filled with a low murmur of shock. Taehyung covered his mouth, as if he couldn't believe what he had just heard. His watery eyes were now completely filled with tears. Jungkook spoke again, his voice steady despite still sounding emotional. "Today, I want to say something I've wanted to say for a long time, and I want to say it in front of you all." He paused. Everyone held their breath. "I'm so grateful to you, Taehyung. I wouldn't be the Jungkook I am today without you. You've always been there for me, in silence, in laughter, in tears. And today, I want to make sure everyone knows, you are the most precious person in my life." The room erupted in a roar. Taehyung, who had been staring at Jungkook with watery eyes, suddenly stood up from his seat. With quick steps, he ran to the stage and without hesitation hugged Jungkook tightly. His tears fell, soaking the shoulders of his beloved magne. "Me too," Taehyung whispered. The moment was so emotional. The fans in the stadium cried. The internet exploded with various theories and reactions. Was this just about friendship? Or was there a deeper meaning behind Jungkook's words? The other BTS members stood up from their seats and gave a meaningful round of applause. Jimin was seen wiping his eyes with the back of his hand, while RM smiled faintly, like an older brother proud to see his younger siblings share such a deep moment. On social media, hashtags about Jungkook and Taehyung immediately dominated the world's trending topics. Armies from all over the world tried to understand the meaning behind Jungkook's words. Some interpreted it as a sincere expression of gratitude to his close friend, but others argued that it was more than just ordinary friendship on stage. The atmosphere began to ease slightly as Jungkook raised the microphone again, this time with a playful tone. "Hyung, you're crying like a little kid." The audience chuckled, slightly easing the tension that had been dominating the atmosphere. Taehyung quickly wiped his face, then chuckled and nodded. "I am a little kid when it comes to you, Jungkookie." Jungkook chuckled, then clasped Taehyung's hand tightly. "I don't know if I can say it any better, but I just want you to know no matter what happens, I'll always be there for you. And I hope you'll always be there for me too." Taehyung looked at Jungkook deeply, then nodded. Without hesitation, he took the microphone from Jungkook's hand and spoke, his voice still slightly trembling with emotion. "Of course, Jungkook. I'll never go anywhere. I'll always be there." The room roared again. The cameras captured the expressions of the BTS members, filled with pride and emotion. Even Suga, known as the coolest among them, just smiled faintly, but the look in his eyes showed that he was also touched. Behind the stage, the emotional atmosphere still lingered. Taehyung sat in the waiting room with the other members. Jin patted his shoulder gently, then said, "You know, I've never seen Jungkook say something like that before." Taehyung turned and smiled faintly. "I never thought he would say it in front of everyone either." Jimin, who was sitting next to him, rested his head on Taehyung's shoulder. "I'm proud of you," he said softly. Meanwhile, Jungkook sat in the corner of the room, still feeling the remnants of adrenaline coursing through his body. His hands were still shaking slightly. He didn't regret what he said, but there was something that still hung in his heart. Taehyung finally realized that Jungkook seemed quieter than usual. He frowned slightly, then said goodbye to Jimin and Jin before walking towards Jungkook. He sat next to him, letting silence fill the space between them before finally asking in a soft voice, "Are you okay?" Jungkook lifted his face and looked at Taehyung deeply. There was something in Taehyung's eyes that made him feel calmer, something familiar, something that was always there whenever he felt doubtful. He nodded slowly. I don't know why I feel like this," Jungkook admitted honestly. Taehyung smiled slightly, then patted Jungkook's back gently. "You just said something really big in front of the world. It's natural to feel like this." Jungkook sighed softly. He didn't know how the world would interpret his statement, but one thing he knew for sure, Taehyung understood. And that was enough. Suddenly, Jungkook chuckled. "Hyung, how about we get something to eat? I'm hungry." Taehyung laughed, his eyes sparkling with the warmth of the moment they shared that night. "Come on, I'll treat you." And with that, they both got up from their seats, leaving the room with a lighter feeling. No matter what the world thought, they knew they had each other. The emotional moment that occurred between Jungkook and Taehyung on stage has shocked the world. The reaction of the fans, both in the stadium and on social media, shows how strong the bond is between these two BTS members. However, the question now is, can we really believe what we see and hear? Is this a sincere expression from Jungkook that he has long wanted to convey, or is it a carefully choreographed moment to create a media frenzy? Fact or sensation? In today's digital age, information spreads faster than ever before. Live broadcasts, clips uploaded to TikTok, video snippets on YouTube, to viral tweets on Twitter, all can shape a certain narrative in seconds. But how much of the information we consume truly represents reality? Since that emotional moment occurred, various speculations have emerged. Most armies consider it real evidence of the true friendship between Jungkook and Taehyung. However, there are also many who believe that this is a strategy deliberately designed to attract public attention. Let's think more critically. If this is indeed a spontaneous moment full of emotion, why did the reactions of the other BTS members seem so calm, as if they already knew what was going to happen? Is it possible that they were told beforehand? Or is this part of a narrative that has been carefully constructed by BTS management and their agency? The importance of skepticism in responding to news. We often get carried away by emotions when we see something touching, but are we reflective enough to ask, who benefits from this moment? Is this just a sincere expression of feelings, or is there a hidden agenda behind it? The history of the entertainment world has shown that there are many spontaneous moments that have actually been designed with mature marketing strategies. Relationships between members that are told in such depth can be a tool to maintain fan loyalty. An idol is not just a singer or a performer. He is part of a very complex entertainment industry where every word, every action, and even every emotional moment can have a specific purpose. Do we as fans really know the truth behind the scenes? Or are we just seeing what we want to be shown?